Hey, what is up, Frag fam? Corbin here again from Northwest Scent. Monday, weekly fragrance haul. So this is gonna be week number 12. We got a lot of fragrances here, and that's just because this is actually over the last 2 weeks. I was not able to produce this video last week, unfortunately. So this is the accumulation of 2 weeks of fragrances. We got quite a bit. We're gonna dive into it after the intro, so let's roll it. Alright guys, welcome back from the intro, and like I said, this is the weekly fragrance haul, episode 12, and I just counted and we have 14 fragrances for the last 2 weeks, so that's one fragrance a day that I got. I did get some of these sent to me for review, but we also picked up a lot of different things as well. Some of these were blind buys, some of these were ones that I had sampled previously, and I wanted to, get a full bottle, and some of these I actually owned full bottles of previously, got rid of them, and then, I had kind of seller's guilt, and I was like, I need that bottle back. So a lot of interesting stuff here. We're gonna dive into the video here shortly. Before we do, I do want to say that we are getting close to 2,000 subscribers, which the 1,000 to 2,000 change came really quickly. It seems like it was just a couple of weeks ago when we were at 1,000 subscribers, and I think it almost was. It's been a little over a month. So the fact that we're almost getting to 2,000 subscribers now, that is crazy. We're gonna be doing a giveaway because of that. So make sure you guys listen in here for the instructions. You got to do all these things and then you will be entered. Okay, so first thing, of course, the biggest one, be subscribed to the channel. This is a giveaway for subscribers only, and this is not going to be for people that click subscribe, stay subscribed for a week just to be entered and then unsubscribe. This is for loyal subscribers. I want a consistent base of followers here. Additionally, make sure you're liking the video just so there's a little bit more visibility with it. And then also be creative with a comment, but put PNW somewhere in it. So just abbreviate PNW, just makes it a lot easier. And then that's how I know that you guys actually heard this message. Additionally, share the video and then follow me over on Instagram as well, which you guys always see my Instagram handle at the start of my videos, and most of you have not followed me yet for some reason. So I can put it again here on screen, but be sure to go follow me on Instagram, and then again, share this video as well, again, so it gets maximum visibility. As far as the announcement goes, it's gonna happen once we pass the 2,000 subscriber mark or somewhere close to it, Do all those steps and you guys will be good to go. As far as the prize, I'm gonna be giving away 10 fragrance samples. 9 of them will be random as I own a bunch of niche samples, and then one of them will be whatever the winner wants. So anything from my collection, if whatever you've seen in my videos, if there's a fragrance that you've really been itching to try, just let me know what it is and I will give you guys a sample of that one as well. So with all that out of the way, finally, let's get into the first fragrance for this haul. Okay, so starting the video off, and like I said, we have 14 fragrances to go over. I'm gonna try and be pretty brief here so this doesn't draw on for too long. So we were talking about this one from Gucci, and this is Gucci Guilty Absolute, which I learned, I guess it is discontinued. When I first picked this up, I wasn't aware that it is, but it is still going for a really good price. I got this 90 ml right here, this 3 ounce. I think I paid about $55 on FragranceNet. And it's a really good scent. It is a little bit challenging, but personally, this is something that's just drawing me in, and I do find it easy to wear, but I can see just how for like other people, this could definitely come across as challenging. It's not like a mass appealing style of fragrance. You get vetiver in here, there is wood and then leather. So it is very kind of dry, harsh, masculine, a little bit spicy, but to me, it's like I said, it's like this very dry kind of leather, and then you do get like this prominent woodiness as well. So it's a really good masculine scent. Unfortunately discontinued. Really glad I have this one in my collection. And again, from Gucci, that was Guilty Absolute. Okay, so moving on to the next fragrance, we actually have 4 fragrances from the same house, and these were sent to me for review. Now the first one, which I got, was this one right here. This is from the house of Zahara, and this is Signature Rosé, and this is an amazing rose fragrance. Like I've said this before, I am not a huge fan of rose. This one is delicious smelling. It's a little bit sweet, kind of fruity rosy. There is kind of a tartness to it as well. It is actually a little bit jammy, which I've said many times. I'm not a fan of a jammy rose, but the way it's working in here, I do not mind it at all. I don't find it like nauseating or anything or overly feminine. This one to me smells quite unisex. Definitely something I would feel comfortable wearing, and actually I already have worn this out and I really liked it a lot. You get amber in here as well. There is frankincense, then a little bit of myrrh. So you do get some similarities between this one and the original Signature Pour Homme, although of all the flankers so far, excluding the Z Creator fragrances, again, those are kind of their own thing. Of all the original Zahara creations, this one is the one that deviates the most from the original, and I really like it a lot. So again, the first fragrance that I got from Zahara, that is this one right here called Signature Rosé. Now going on to the next three, you can probably guess, and if you've been watching my channel, you know what these are. So they are the Z Creator fragrances, and I'm not gonna talk about them. Here's the Siren as the first one. If you guys wanna check out my first impressions, I will link that above. I don't wanna go through and say the same things I've already said before, but again, just to show you guys the Siren. Then this one is Brass and Soul. And then the last one from Ross over at TLTG Reviews. This is Business Over Pleasure. So again, already talked about them. Check out that video above if you want more details. Okay, so moving on to the next fragrance that I got within this haul. This is another one that was sent to me for review, and it's coming from the house of Authenticity Perfumes. It's called Summer Vibes 3.0. So this is the third rendition of this fragrance, and I think I own the first one as well. I have not tried the second one. This is my personal favorite just based on what I'm smelling so far. The original Summer Vibes was nice. It was kind of a fresh soapy style of fragrance if I remember correctly, like a little bit minty as well. I liked it, but it wasn't like super duper impressive to me. This one I do like a lot more. This is more focusing on like a fruitiness rather than like a soapiness, and you get a lot of fruits in here. I'm gonna read some of them off to you. So you get grapefruit, bergamot, lime, mango, pear, peach, and blackcurrant. So it's really hard to pick out an individual note because of that, or an individual fruity note, but it's kind of just this fruit concoction. It's really juicy, zesty, sweet as well. You do get some florals in here and lavender, so it is kind of light, powdery, and aromatic. It's a really, really nice fragrance. I do like this one quite a bit. I'll be honest, I have not worn it yet. I've only been doing little test sprays on my skin, so I can't really tell you more about it than that, but it's an awesome release, and it's a limited release as well. So I think this one's only gonna be available from now until the end of September. So if you guys are interested in this, definitely pick it up while you can. And again, that was coming from the House of Authenticity Perfumes, called Summer Vibes 3.0. Okay, so moving on to the next fragrance that I picked up. Now, this is kind of weird. I tried the Eau de Parfum version of this fragrance and I really liked it a lot. So I went online, was trying to find a good deal, like less than retail, of course, and I wasn't able to find anything. They were only selling this for full retail at full retailers, you know, not at the discounters or anything. Then I was able to find the Eau de Toilette discounted, so I went ahead and ordered it. I had not tried it again, just the Eau de Parfum, but I figured maybe it would smell basically the same and just perform a little bit worse. Got it in, and then I come to find out it does smell a little bit different. It does have more of a zestiness to it. It's just lighter overall. I still do prefer the Eau de Parfum, but this one is awesome. And I think this is a very slept on fragrance from this particular house. So this is coming from the house of Diptique, and as you can see, this is like a weird bottle style. This is called 34 Boulevard Saint Germain. This one kind of goes in a little bit of like all these different directions. It's kind of interesting. So you get spices in here, there's florals, you get a lot of fruits, there's some woody notes, and there are some kind of like watery notes in here as well. So it's kind of doing a little bit of everything. To me, this one is lighter than the Eau de Parfum. What I really liked about the Eau de Parfum was kind of dry, sweet, lightly vintage smell with some fruitiness as well, and very spicy. It was really, really nice. Now this one to me, again, it's a little bit lighter and fruitier. I'm getting more of like a dewy smell, kind of green. You get stuff in here like cloves, cinnamon, blackcurrant, cardamom in here. You get some fig leaf, iris, rose, and actually I am getting a decent amount of the rose in here as well. It's kind of a fresh rose though. It's not super heavy, not in the same style as Signature Rosé from Zahara. It's much tamer here. A really nice fragrance overall. Again, it's kind of doing a little bit of everything. It's really hard to pinpoint exactly what this fragrance is doing, other than that it smells really good. So I'm really glad to have this one in my collection now. Again, I was after the Eau de Parfum, but this is what I ended up getting. Maybe I will get the EDP eventually. And again, from the house of Diptique, this was 34 Boulevard Saint Germain. Okay, so moving on to the next fragrance that I picked up. This is the only cheapie I got within this haul. I actually did find this at a rack store, and it was one that I picked up because you see this thing get hyped up quite a bit. I had never smelled it, so I was like, yeah, let's go for it. This is coming from the house of Salvatore Ferragamo, and this is F Black, which you've seen people of the likes of like Jeremy Fragrance talk about this thing. I've seen Ross from TLTG Reviews talk about this one as well. I do have F Free Time, which is a nice kind of iced lemonade style zesty citrus fragrance, you know, really good for the summer. This one is quite different. I don't really get much of a resemblance at all. This is like peppery, dry, spicy, a little bit sweet, more for like the fall and winter. Although it's not super dense, it does still smell kind of like clean laundry in a way, you know, kind of with this just clean freshness, but it is still sweet and mostly spicy. It's a very dry spice to my nose. To be honest, I'm a little bit underwhelmed. There's not much going on here. And you know, I guess I'm more used to niche fragrances now. That's really what I've been getting into. You know, this one, it just didn't do it for me. It does smell really good, and I will probably wear it occasionally if I just need something that is kind of inoffensive, maybe a little bit interesting, you know, something for the nighttime, but just not challenging. You know, that's what I could use this for. So it was an okay pickup, you know, for 20 bucks that I paid for it. I'm not mad. And I guess I can see why this one does get a lot of talk, but for me personally, wasn't a huge fan of it. Nonetheless, I have it in my collection now. And again, that was from Salvatore Ferragamo, called F Black. Okay, so moving on to the next fragrance. Actually, the next three all came from FragranceBuy.ca. I got them in one package, and I took advantage of their holiday sale picking these up. So I was able to save quite a bit of money getting them in no particular order. The first one coming from the house of Raja Parfums. This is Fetish Parfum pour Homme, which, if you did not know, this one has been discontinued. So it's going to be very hard to find going forward, and like a lot of the Raja fragrances that get discontinued, you know, like Candy Oud, for example, Fruity Oud, Saudi Arabia, they shoot up in price, like crazy expensive. So I wanted to get this before that happened. Now, I will be honest here, I am not a huge fan of this right now. There is something really sharp to it, and it is very intense. I can say it is a masterpiece. I've never smelled anything like this. It is very high quality smelling, just like all the Rajas, but it is a little too much for me right now. I am gonna hold on to it and see how it works out for me. I'm gonna give it some wears if I can, you know, maybe some test sprays. This is a very intense kind of leather animalic smoky fragrance. So when I first spray it on, all I get is like this lit cigarette, but it's a very kind of sharp, harsh lit cigarette smoke, very realistic as well. I am getting a very strong leather that is quite animalic coming from the castoreum in here. So, you know, like I said, this is just a very intense fragrance. It does seem really loud as well. I did a little test spray and I could really kind of pick it up just wafting up through the air. So definitely something I'm gonna have to, you know, try and wear more in the cold weather, but I am gonna try and test it out going forward here throughout the summer, just to try and get more used to it. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this right now, but I'm hoping it will grow on me because I've heard a lot of good things about it. I am still really glad to have this one in my collection. Again, I have been looking for this for a while, so pumped to have it for now. And again, that first one was coming from Raja Parfums, and it's called Fetish. Now going on to the other two that I picked up. So here's one. This is Issey Miyake Fusion d'Issey Extreme, which I just put this in a video that I did. It was the top 10 freshies with depth, which this is, you know, for the money, this is a really good fresh fragrance, but it does have some complexity to it. It is zesty, fruity. There's lavender in here, I believe. So you get kind of this aromatic touch, and there's also coconut, which this is a really nice coconut. It is pretty dominant where you can definitely pick it out, but it's not suntan lotion like, or like, you know, it's not like a super sunscreen heavy feminine style of coconut. It works here really nicely. It brings kind of a tropical creaminess to the fragrance, but again, it's not too much, so I really do like it. Again, just a very pleasant kind of fruity, tropical, zesty fragrance, really good for the summer. I'm liking this one a lot. So that was the other fragrance I got from FragranceBuy.ca. And the last one, coming from the house of Amouage. This is one that I had sampled previously, and I knew I wanted a full bottle. So this is Sunshine Man. And this is a very like under the radar kind of fragrance from the house, I guess. A lot of people talk about Beach Hut Man or maybe even Bracken Man, but you never see Sunshine Man get mentioned for some reason. It's in that same kind of collection. Now this one, it has orange, there's vanilla, and then lavender as some of the dominant notes. To be honest, I don't get much of the lavender. If it's there, it's definitely not heavy-handed. Maybe it's bringing a little bit of a powdery nature, but to my nose, this is mostly the orange and the vanilla. And it smells like a beast mode orange creamsicle. You know, it's creamy, very sweet candied orange, very long lasting. You know, it's not like a fresh, zesty fragrance. It's very sweet, syrupy, intense, even though it is kind of going after, again, like a lighter profile because of the citruses and the lavender. It is very dense and intense, something that would almost be too much in the high heat, but I really am enjoying it. I do like the scent itself, and again, it's a beast mode performer, so really glad to have this one finally. And again, from Amouage, this is Sunshine Man. Okay, so moving on to the next fragrance. This one is coming from the house of Atelier d'Azores, and this is Riviera Drive, which ever since I smelled this with the last collab I did with Justin, I've really been wanting to bottle. And actually at the time, they were completely sold out of discounters, and even the Atelier d'Azores website, they were out too. So I think they just put some more product out, and that's why all the discounters got some stuff back in stock. So I was able to pick this up for a pretty good price from FragranceNet. Now, like I said, I tried this at Justin's. I have not given this a full wearing yet, but I have done some test sprays. It's a nice citrus, kind of aromatic, spicy, boozy fragrance, and there is a woody touch to this as well. A lot of lemon and rosemary, and then some of this kind of boozy sweet absinthe, and a very prominent peppery cedar note. And it's a very realistic cedar, because I actually smelled this, like I said, blindly when I did that collab with Justin, and cedar was one of the notes I was able to get. It jumped out at me, very realistic smelling, so it's definitely prominent in here, which I do like cedar quite a bit, so I really do enjoy this one overall. My experience so far with it is a little bit light. It doesn't seem to last super long, but the scent alone, very high quality, very natural, and pretty unique as well. And again, this one was from Atelier and it's called Riviera Drive. Okay, so moving on to the second to last fragrance. I used to own a bottle of this stuff. I did enjoy it a decent amount, but I felt like I would never really wear it, so I got rid of it. And then of course I missed it because this stuff does smell absolutely amazing. So about a year later, I finally got a bottle again. This one is a little bit used, but that's okay. So this is coming from the house of Givenchy, and this is Ani, which if you guys know about this one, which you guys probably do, this is, I would say, arguably the most popular fragrance from this house, next to Hasavat, that is. This is a vanilla bomb, a very creamy, lightly spicy vanilla, super gourmand-like. You get a lot of bergamot in here as well. There's a little bit kind of a spiciness and a resinous quality. To my nose, this is straight up lemon meringue pie, not like 60% lemon meringue pie, and I'm just using that kind of as a reference. Like, this smells like a lemon meringue pie to me. It's got that creaminess, that zestiness. It is very, very sweet. There's a little bit of a spicy nature as well. That's literally what I get from this fragrance, which it smells fantastic. So again, I am glad to finally have this one in my collection again, coming from the house of Givenchy, and that was Ani. Okay, so we are finally on to the last fragrance for within this haul. Now this is my first bottle I've ever purchased from this house, although I have been able to try basically all of the fragrances at this point because we do have a boutique locally. So I went ahead to the boutique, tried everything. This is the one I felt that I wanted a bottle of, at least at this time. I do want to get some more from the house at a later date, but this is my current favorite from the ones that I tried. So this is coming from the house of Louis Vuitton, and this is Lamensa. This one does catch a decent amount of buzz for people that are familiar with this house. I totally get it now. This is a very masculine but very appealing style of DNA. You know, it's kind of in that Creed Aventus realm where it is fruity, citrusy, musky, woody, maybe even a little bit sweet and spicy, you know, but it's very masculine. Again, this does not smell like Creed Aventus at all, like not even close, but it's just in that same style, if that makes sense. This one features grapefruit and ginger. You get a lot of those two notes. There's also rosemary in here. You get some watery notes. There's ambroxan, I think a little bit of geranium, and then some other stuff that I can't quite remember, but it's a really pleasant fragrance overall. Again, this is a grapefruit ginger bomb with a little bit of kind of this like bite from those herbal components. And it is sweet and spicy, watery, aquatic, a very, very pleasant fragrance. Really glad to have this one finally in my collection. And again, that was coming from Louis Vuitton. It was called Lamensa. Well, there you guys go. That was my weekly fragrance haul, episode 12. Again, we're doing a giveaway in this video. If you somehow missed that, go back and rewatch the video and catch the instructions so you guys can get entered for it as well. Overall, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, I would really appreciate dropping a like just to show your support. And then that way more people can see my videos on YouTube. Additionally, if you want to write a comment, maybe just let me know your thoughts as well as some new video ideas or topics, that would be great too. And since you're down there doing all that stuff, if you've not already, if you could hit the subscribe button and then the bell notification, that would be amazing. That way you stay up to date on new videos whenever they get released going forward. But with all that out of the way, that's all I really have for you guys today. So I hope you have a good one. Stay healthy, stay wealthy, and smell great.